where there's no democracy, where they have absolutely no interest or at all in respecting your rights. We've got to let these people understand that they've got skin in this game, and we got to scare the hell out of them.
Welcome to this week's Wacky Moments of Leftist Extremism. On Tuesday night, history was made in Southeast Texas as Republican Mayor Flores won a special election in Texas' 34th Congressional District. She became the first Mexican-born woman to be elected to Congress and did so by winning a district that President Biden won by 13 points in 2020. So, not surprisingly, ABC's Good Morning America and NBC's Today Show didn't want to discuss this or the potential sign of a red wave coming for the midterms. Uh-oh. Did I say red wave?
We don't know that red wave is coming because that red wave is based on a big lie.
Well, and
so people know that. The other thing is you're talking about inflation, right? And you're talking about the baby formula shortage and people are going to, and gas prices, and people are going to be upset at Biden for that. But the bottom line is there are solutions to that, and Biden has been pushing solutions.
Real good solutions coming from Joe. I mean, just ask all those White House advisors that popped up on cable news this week.
I don't think the White House missed much at all in the following sense. We have a team, and I know you're pushing in a different direction, but I think looking forward, this is what's most important. We have a team of seasoned people here led by a president who believes that we have to do everything. We don't sit on our hands and hope that these forecasts for stable growth and inflation slowing down come true. I've never done more in my long career as a political economist to help on the economy supply side. I never thought about dwell times and containers in the ports.
Never thought about supply side economics? Well, I can see why he's a qualified economic advisor for the Biden administration. Good hires there. Maybe the leftist news networks can push the other good news that's occurring under the Biden regime.
We want to move to clean energy, and that's why the president and the bipartisan infrastructure law that was signed invests a significant amount of money to move in that direction.
Do you see this as a silver lining, then, to the pain many Americans are feeling?
Yeah, ask about the silver lining at the gas pumps, that silver lining of inflation. I mean, don't listen to critics.
We might not like spending these higher prices, but we're willing to do it. And right now, all the focus is on the Federal Reserve. Because when we could say, what is the president doing? He's not doing much because he can't. It's about the Federal Reserve. They're going to raise interest rates this week, possibly 0.5 percentage point. And here's why this matters. If they raise rates too quickly, well, that could dip us into recession. And if they don't do it enough, prices could keep rising and rising, and inflation hurts. But what's also important to remember as we're dealing with this can't be solved overnight. And Republicans right now are using inflation to push people to the polls because it's really hard for us.
Darn it, why would Republicans be concerned about things like inflation and gas prices? Wow, those jerks, huh? That's why the media wants to talk about other issues and give awesome campaign advice to those Democrats. Democracy will die unless you vote the way the media tells you to.
Where do you think you're going to stand in a country, in America, where there's no democracy, where they have absolutely no interest or at all in respecting your rights? We've got to let these people understand that they've got skin in this game, and we got to scare the hell out of them.
That will make a great campaign slogan. Scare the hell out of them. That segment of MSNBC driven home by Subaru. Give them a call and ask them to shift gears on their advertising. And speaking of shifting gears, let's just remember it was only a few months ago that the leftist media was giving us a wonderful contortionist display in order to push the Biden agenda.
Now, if we zoom in, we can see that, clearly the economy has slowed down in the last few quarters. I think the key here is why that has happened. We shouldn't panic about these numbers because the weakness has been driven by some quirky components here.
Yeah, don't panic. It's just, quirky gas prices. They're sure to plummet.
Gas prices are heading down. A government forecast says that they could drop below $3 a gallon.
Whew. That pain that you've been feeling at the pump, it may be short-lived. There is finally some relief at the pump.
Good news at the pump.
This is the kind of positive news we've wanted.
Really good economic news, including dropping gas prices.
Gas prices will tumble below $3 a gallon soon. So that's good news.
And I do think we have to note that gas prices and natural gas, for example, going way down.
There are plenty of signs that the U.S. economy is strong.
This economy moving in the right direction. It's not perfect. There are inflation concerns here, but there are a lot of things to be very, very grateful for as we head into the Christmas season.
Yeah, about that, I'm not feeling so grateful. But don't look back and hold the media accountable for what they said. Joe Scarborough doesn't like that. He expressed his feelings on that topic this week.
And we've seen it. They'll look through the thousands and thousands of New York Times and Washington Post stories. And then they'll find an article that they didn't get right. And then we'll hear about it for weeks. But they will comb through thousands and thousands of stories. They'll find one that they get wrong, right? And then they'll go to town going, this is why you can't, fake news, fake news, fake news. And then, yes, I will say it. And then they churn out bullshit every single day. Lies every single day. Misinformation every single day. And they'll go back and they'll find something that somebody, said 2 years ago, twisted around. That's it. Again, it's just pure propaganda. We've got to call it what it is. These are people who want Donald Trump to be a dictator. They hate American democracy. They hate press freedoms. And so they're going to attack the mainstream media.
How could you doubt Scarborough? He seems a little sensitive there.
Going, this is why you can't, fake news, fake news, fake news.
But despite that, MSNBC this week assured us that we need to listen to the leftist media and not any other news sources.
And Eamon, I was talking about Fox propaganda earlier on the show. It's one of the reasons I refuse to call it Fox News. It's not news. And I have to ask you, in all your years of reporting from around the world, Eamon, in places like General Sisi's Egypt, how different is the way Fox behaves from the propaganda channels that you've seen in those authoritarian countries, those Middle East dictatorships?
I mean, listen, you raise a very interesting question. I have seen a lot of state-controlled media in my lifetime.
That's a very interesting take from two men who both worked for Qatari state-owned media, Al Jazeera. Yeah, they both furthered their state-run propaganda media experience to become on-air personalities at MSNBC. It's kind of funny how that happened. Glad they're there to give us their take on labeling state-run media, though. It seems completely legit. It's about as legit as Mika's complaints on Wednesday morning that some networks didn't cover the January 6th committee news on Tuesday. Of course, there was no committee hearings on Tuesday, but, facts.
But literally 3 hours, 3 hours, not a mention of the hearings, not a mention of the news that was breaking after the hearings about the next hearings.
There was no mention of the breaking news about the next committee hearings. Okay. I mean, let's be honest. NBC knows that these hearings are its top ratings priority.
At the top of the hour, we're going to have to end our coverage of this January 6th hearing on the NBC network. My colleagues and I will continue our coverage on the hearings on our streaming platform, NBC News Now. For everyone else, U.S. Open golf begins momentarily. I'm Lester Holt for NBC News in New York. Good day.
Good day indeed. I'm Eric Shiner from MRCTV, asking you to visit the MRC Store and pick up some great gifts for Father's Day. Check out MRCTV.org for the latest videos, information, and entertainment. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the social media platforms where you can see our content, which doesn't include TikTok at the moment. Please hit the plus on Rumble or the thumbs up on the other platforms. Help keep our content going. We'll see you next week with another look at leftist media madness.